afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the auction here today of 15 Horderville Terrace, Eastwood. By way of introduction, I am Danny Clarkson, and it is with great pleasure that I'll be your auctioneer today. Taking your bids in just a moment will be Brad Allen, and together we represent Brighton Realty, members of the Real Estate Institute of South Australia and Society of Auctioneers and Appraisers. I must take this opportunity, however, to thank the vendors, Mr and Mrs Drake, for the immaculate condition in which they have presented the home, not only today, but also over the last 4 weeks during the marketing campaign. Ladies and gentlemen, 15 Horderville Terrace, in the idyllic city-side suburb of Eastwood, would be perfect for the young professional couple or those simply looking for a city change. As soon as you step inside, everything says class and luxury. From the character LED light, designed and created by Mrs Young herself, to the decorative Sealy roses and lavish chandeliers, what more could you want in a home? Featuring 3 bedrooms, an open-plan kitchen and living area, and of course, the secluded central atrium and therapeutic spa, it would be absolutely perfect to come home to at night. Ladies and gentlemen, I can tell you're all very excited about the auction here today. But before we get to the fun part, where you get to have a say, I must go through some legalities associated with today's sale. Today's auction will be conducted under the standard conditions of auction as set down by the Real Estate Institute of South Australia and Society of Auctioneers and Appraisers. These terms and conditions, along with the Form 1s and all other relevant paperwork, have been on display here at the property for the last 30 minutes or so, as well as at our Brighton office for the last 3 clear business days. The prescribed standard conditions of auction have been handed to all the registered bidders and form part of the R4 Bidders Guide, as set down, again, by the Real Estate Institute of South Australia and Society of Auctioneers and Appraisers. Any person may bid today, either in person or by their proxy, subject to the conditions of auction, and all bidding is subject to a reserve price. I will only accept the bid if the bidder displays an allocated number and I audibly announce that number. And I may make up to 3 vendor bids, up to, but not including the reserve price, and announce them as vendor bids. The highest bidder, at or above the reserve price, will be the purchaser upon the fall of the hammer, and no bid will be accepted after that time. The successful buyer will be required to come forth, execute a contract, and of course, pay the specified deposit of 10%. Cooling off rights do not apply to sale by auction, and settlement has been set for Monday the 29th of June. At the fall of the hammer, the purchaser will be at the risk of the property, and therefore we recommend them to immediately take out insurance to cover their equitable interest in the home. The legal description of the piece of land we're about to sell today is that described in Certificate Title Book, Volume 5232, Folio 306. That being Allotment 12 in Depositor Plan 41110, in the area named Eastwood, in the 100th of Adelaide. And of course, we all simply know it as 15 Horderville Terrace, Eastwood. Included in today's sale is all fixtures, fittings, built-in furniture, all fixed floor coverings, window treatments and all fixed floor coverings. And excluded are the vendor's personal effects and freestanding furniture. Well, that concludes all the necessities for today's auction. Are there any questions regarding the sale here today?
Just one, if I may.
Yes, sir.
I was hoping to install some shade sails at the back of the property to protect the kids from global warming. Is that possible?
Thank you for your question, sir. I agree, it would be a great idea to install shade sails at the rear of the property. However, you may require council consent to install shade sails, and you have to do your own research into that matter. Today's sale is on a cash and unconditional basis, and I cannot give you any further information. Does that answer your question?
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, and best of luck with your bidding today. Is there any further questions?
Yes, Mr Auctioneer. Is there anything about the home that you could tell me in relation to contamination or white ant activity?
Thank you for your question, sir. All the relevant documentation, including the vendor's declaration, has been on display for the prescribed time, and there's no information in that documentation to suggest any white ant activity or contamination. Does that answer your question?
Thank you.
Thank you, and best of luck with your bidding today. Is there any further questions? Well, if there are no further questions, and before I get the auction underway, let's have a quick chat about this amazing offer we have here today. Although classified as a reproduction villa, over the years, 15 Horderville Terrace has truly created its own charm. As soon as you walk in the door, you feel the hustle and bustle of city life fade away and the feeling of yesteryear takes over. The generous main bedroom boasts a decorative bay window, considerable walk-through robes and luxurious two-way bathroom, complete with corner bath. The third bedroom, which is currently being used as a study, as well as the large formal lounge room, both overlook the central atrium and, of course, that beautiful therapeutic spa, which is definitely included with today's sale. Eastwood is all about a fabulous lifestyle. Located on the very fringe of the city, the cafes on Rundle Street, the restaurants on Guja, or the peaceful parklands are all just a few minutes walk away. However, ladies and gentlemen, the successful buyer today, with the veranda and pergola out the back that overlooks the decorative garden and lawn area, all shaded by that magnificent jacaranda tree, will have no reason to leave their own private oasis. Just moments ago, I was speaking to the vendor, Mr. Drake, and he was telling me about his passion for cars, and in particular, Jags. It's no wonder that Mr. Drake's favourite sporting event is Adelaide's own Calypso 500. Like Mr. Drake, forget about ever worrying to park or catch the bus again. Simply grab the esky and off you go. Mr. Drake's cars are obviously his prized possession. During the marketing campaign, you may have even been fortunate enough to spot the newest addition to his collection, his XJ 350 2003 model Jag, kept secure in the large double lock-up garage with its adjoining carport. Mr. Drake even installed the glass sliding doors on the garage so he could sit on his pergola and admire his collection. All this parking is accessed via the rear lane down the back. Ladies and gentlemen, today is the passing of an era for the great Drake family. But with the end of one era, another must begin. Today is your opportunity to secure a lifestyle of similar fortune and enjoyment, just like the Drake family have enjoyed since they built the home in 1995. Ladies and gentlemen, the time has come. During the marketing campaign, we have been quoting somewhere between the $500,000 to $550,000 range